Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. Hope you're well. I have no goddamn idea what day this is, but it's Wednesday. It's our Wednesday show. Just a heads up, I cannot promise this show will be a full show. We have a storm going on here that started mid-afternoon and is going. It's just going to get more intense as the night goes on. It's been thundering and lightning out here. My internet has been garbage. So there seems to be a break in the booms and the flashes. So I was like, fuck it, we're going to try it now. And hopefully we get a good show in. But if not, I apologize. I live in the middle of fucking nowhere. So a couple of things happened in the world today. No, fuck. Did you guys read this goddamn indictment? Oh my God. It's worse than I thought it was. This is dumber than even I was considering it could possibly be. This thing is fucking stupid. Hey, Bubba, you're off, right? Are we playing tonight? Or is this is Tuesday, right? I think we're playing tonight. If, weather and everything holds up. You want to hang out if you're not busy? Jack should be here, hopefully. I'm imagining he's off doing something else, but he'll be here, I hope, here in just a few minutes. But we're going to dive in anyway because we kind of have to. You didn't post the Streamlabs message. Oh my God. Thank you. All right, let me fix that. There we go. Thank you, Evil. Evil wanted to put the link for our Streamlabs in the YouTube chat there. And I went to pin it, but right under that, he said, give them money, people. And I accidentally pinned the give them money, people one instead. That is my bad. Thank you so much for pointing that out to me, Evil One. Shit. We're already off to a wonderful start. All right. So, yeah, I couldn't believe that thing, Monk. I thought it was a joke. I'm going to just bring it up on the screen. We can actually take a look at this stupid fucking thing. Which link? Why is it? Oh, it's this one. There we go. This is it. The Supreme Court of the state of New York, County of New York, the people of the state of New York against Donald J. Trump, the defendant. The grand jury of the County of New York, by this indictment, accuses the defendant of the crime of falsifying business records in the first degree in violation of penal law 175.10, committed as follows. All right. We're not going to read all of these because there's 34 counts here, and they're basically copy and paste. The defendant in the County of New York and elsewhere on or about February 14th, 2017, with the intent to defraud and intent to commit another crime and aid and conceal the commission thereof, made and caused a false entry in the business records of enterprises, to wit, an invoice from Michael Cohen dated February 14th, 2017, marked as a record of Donald J. Trump Revocable Trust, and kept and maintained by the Trump Organization. We'll go into what all that means because there's a lot of stupid ass legal talk there. The first thing you have to be aware of is at the beginning of that, they're actually quoting the that law 175.10, where it's literally, that's what it says. Anybody who causes people to basically falsify a business record. Shio, thank you. Ate my last piece of cheese yesterday. Today it's raining. Ain't no sunshine when cheese is gone. Don't laugh at that. I'll assume my position in the corner. Thank you, Shio. Here's what Trump is being accused of in this indictment, all 34 counts of it. I don't have a link to give you for the indictment because I just have it saved on my desktop. You can look it up. The accusation is that when Stormy Daniels got paid off, right, that Michael Cohen knew that it was wrong, and so when he sent invoices for his legal service to the Trump campaign, well, not to the Trump campaign. That's got to be a lot of people out there saying the Trump campaign. Trump campaign is not in any way brought into this. It's the Trump Organization, the Trump Revocable Trust. The Revocable Trust being the trust that his holdings were put into when he became president. So he becomes president, and The URL looks like this on mobile. I got it to work by deleting the up to the jack part. Cool. I don't have it with me. So anyway, but Cohen pays off Stormy Daniels, and reportedly he makes this deal with Donald Trump and the Trump organization, not the Trump campaign. The Trump organization, that he will get paid $35,000 for 12 months to reimburse him, plus enough to reimburse him to where he could pay off his taxes and still come out with $180,000. That's what's alleged. And since it wasn't a real retainer, this was written down as this was a retainer for legal services. Since they're saying it's not a real retainer, then every time Cohen filled out one of those, that it was a false business entry. It caused him to make a false business entry. Plus, every time Trump paid that, and the Trump organization paid that, because the organization pays it, the revocable trust pays it for, I think it's 2 months, and then after that, Trump himself personally pays it. Either way, all of the people who paid it, every time they put it in the ledger as for legal services, that was a false business record. That is what they're going with. That is what all of these charges are. I'm not making that up. The charge is that they just wrote down the wrong thing when they did it. Because if they had wrote the right thing, this is what Alvin Bragg says, they would have been admitting to a crime. God, that man's an idiot. Should we watch the idiot for a little bit? Let's watch the idiot for just a second here, because well, why not? This is Alvin Bragg right after the Trump arraignment. Trump gets there. This is why we're not watching any of the arraignment part, or there's footage from some of the stuff, him arriving at the courthouse and shit. It was just a big shit show. He goes in, pleads not guilty, and leaves, goes down to Florida. We're also not watching his speech tonight because, did you guys watch Trump's speech? Did you guys watch Trump's? Oh my God. You know, even if you don't like Trump, you got to give this man credit. This man had the balls to say that his phone call to the Georgia governor and AG down there was a perfect phone call. And then he goes, you know, like that perfect phone call I had with Ukraine, I said that was a perfect phone call. This is a more perfect phone call. He actually said those words. This was a more perfect phone call. I'm not judging the quality of the phone call. I'm judging the balls on a man to say more perfect phone call. Like, you got to give him credit for that. I mean, that shit just made me laugh. Yeah, so it was the most perfect phone call ever. I fucking love that dude, man. Again, nothing to do with policy. I'm talking just about his theatrics, man. Nobody can top this, man. Jack is absolutely right when he calls him P.T. Barnum. This motherfucker is a carnival barker, and one of the best that I've ever seen. Oh, it was the place I watched it on Rumble, and it was interesting to see too, because I went around to YouTube to the different places who were showing it. Who had it? NPR, I think, had it. PBS, CBS, ABC. None of them, when I checked in on their numbers, had more than 20,000 people watching. On Rumble, the one place that somebody had sent me, I saw it get up to like 140,000. And it's just some right-wing news site. I'm not familiar with them. But yeah, 130,000 people watching over there compared to 20,000 on ABC. That's got to be frightening for YouTube, doesn't it? I mean, maybe if you combine all the people who watched it on all the different things, but that's just against one channel you were getting your ass kicked by. YouTube, are you paying attention yet? Are you paying attention yet? Because you're starting to get smoked out here. You really are. So anyway, we're not going to watch Trump's speech because, one, Mr. Trump, please back up from the microphone when you're talking, because I don't need to hear every couple of seconds. I get it. You're an older man. It's a little bit harder for you to breathe. But every couple of seconds was really fucking irritating me. Crazy thought. YouTube stopped fucking over creators. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. YouTube is dying. They're just too stupid to realize. Yeah, they're catering to the wrong thing. We've said this many times. They've forgotten what made them popular. Broadcast yourself is what made YouTube popular. And once they started trying to curate what you were allowed to broadcast, you can't say that word. We're not talking about porn. Nobody has a problem with them saying you can't have porn on the platform. Nobody's saying you can't have, or that you have to have every evil thing on there. But if somebody says a slur and you're like, nope, you got to go, you've missed the point. You missed the point. Not only that, you've helped to make the whole mythos, the aura surrounding edginess by saying slurs even worse. You made it edgier to say that stuff. It's called YouTube for fuck's sake. Yeah. But the people at the top, they're so busy, and this was a problem with students. I don't mean to go on a YouTube rant while we're talking about this, but it's important. YouTube was so busy trying to get major like news corporations and legacy media to accept them. We saw Susan go on, like, I think CBS is the one that really pissed me off. But she goes on these other legacy media shows and platforms to basically say, yeah, we're kind of fucked up. Why would you do that? You're beating them. You were beating them. They should have been coming to you to suck up. You should have been out there like, well, I don't need anything from you. You need something from me. Thank you, CEO. You can't say any slurs on YouTube? Huh, who knew? Well, you can't say some. There's some slurs you can't. Make slurs great again. No, ignore them. That's what they should have done. Ignore them. Some fucking idiots out there dropping N-bombs and they think it's cool. Fuck it. Who cares? Oh, but it might hurt somebody's feelings. Shut up. It's the hate speech. Shut up. Stop it. Bunch of big ass babies. And now a service like Rumble, which still does have rules. Yeah, you can go over there and say slurs if you want to, but nobody cares because everybody can do it. It's not edgy. It's edgy when you make it taboo. That's where it becomes edgy, you stupid son of a bitch. God damn, why are they so dumb? Why is the world so dumb? All right. Oh yeah, a bit. in a wonderful turn of irony today, and we'll talk about it a little bit later. A court of appeals did award Donald Trump $121,000 today from Stormy Daniels for lawyer fees, bringing the total she owes the man to something like $500,000. And that dropped today. How fucking great, well, yesterday now, but how great is that? The day that he's indicted for this stupid shit, which is all related to that, Stormy gets hit with another, hey, you owe this man $120,000 more. Good luck to her paying that shit. That's a lot of time on her back, and she's getting kind of old. Anyway, let's watch Alvin, shall we? Let's watch this potato. He really does. He's got a potato head. He's got the head of a man 3 times fatter than him. Hey, it's $600,000 now. Is that what she owes him? All right. I was close. Well, I said $500,000. That's close enough. Shut up, Stacy. No, thank you. Yeah, it's 600,000. I wonder if she'd have been able to pay that off a little faster if Avenatti hadn't stolen from her. You think she'll ever see the Avenatti money returned to her? Frank, thank you so much. Should have kept her trap shut. She should have. All of this happened because this bitch decided, oh, he's going to become president. And right before the election, remember, this all is in October. It's the October surprise. Have you guys seen the other chick? I forget her name. She was much cuter. Why did everybody pay attention to Stormy? That's an ugly bitch. But them big old nasty fake titties, man. They look nasty. Anyhow, it's probably because it's on a like almost 40-year-old woman, and fake titties only look. Oh, fake titties can never look good, but they don't age well. They don't age well. What the fuck am I talking about? Anyway, thank you, friend. Yeah, she should have just shut the fuck up. But she wanted, this was her moment. And we've seen this. I mean, this shit goes back a long time where a man is running for major office and some dirty bitch that he slept with is like, he stuck his dick in me. And we're like, oh my God. And shit, this shit goes all the way back to Hamilton. Literally. His career got ruined because he was banging some dirty slut. That's why we never had a President Hamilton, because we probably would have. Women, keep your damn mouths shut. Now, in fairness, in the Hamilton case, it was her husband rather than her, but still. Like, why do we give such a shit about where people are putting their dicks? That is between them and their fucking wives, man. If their wives are okay with it, it's none of my fucking business. And for the record, I said this same fucking shit during the Clinton trials. Clinton never should have been asked about that shit. It was not a crime. It only became a crime when he lied about it, because of course he's going to lie about it. He's a married man who cheated on his wife. We got him. You shouldn't have asked him that. It's none of your fucking business. It wasn't a crime. But he's Bill Clinton. Yeah, he's a dirty, scummy son of a bitch, but that's not a reason to try to impeach him or to bring charges against him, because where he put his dick, fuck you. I remember very vividly. I think it was either fourth or fifth grade. We're in social studies class, and this topic comes up. Not specific, guys. I'm in fifth grade in what 1985. So this is a long time ago. And I mean, we did have like the Gary Hart stuff come up, so it's around there. And the teacher, she asked during part of the lessons, why would some people not vote for a president if he'd been caught cheating on his wife? And I raised my little hand, and she said, yes, Frank. And I said, because if he cheat on his wife, maybe he would cheat on his country. And she said, that's exactly right. That's a true story. That actually happened. That's the thinking of a 10-year-old. A dude who's going to get some strange is not necessarily going to cheat on his country. That's asinine. But my teacher told me I was right. I'm like, for fuck's sake. Sometimes our puritanical roots are just a little bit too much. You know what I mean? And look, I'm not advocating cheating on your wife. I'm not saying it was okay what these guys did. I'm saying that is a personal matter. That is a matter for them and their loved one. It's none of my fucking business who somebody's plowing. Now, there might be some fun to be had with it, right? There might be some jokes, sure. But when it comes down to, oh, could this person be president? If the only thing you could say about somebody, if everything else about them was perfect, right? But you found out, oh, they cheated on their wife, would you still vote for him? I would. If everything else was fine and all of it was dude got a little strange, I don't care. I'm more interested in whether he's going to fuck me, not who else he fucked. So anyway, let's get back to Alvin. God bless. How long? It's 19 minutes into the show. I'm pretty sure I said we were going to watch this at about the 4-minute mark. So I've been rambling for 15 freaking minutes. I guess we should get on with the show. All right. Talk to me, Potato.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us here today. Earlier this afternoon, Donald Trump was arraigned on a New York Supreme Court indictment returned by a Manhattan grand jury on 34 felony counts of falsifying business records in the first degree.
Now, what makes it a first degree and how they are making this a felony? Because the actual crime here, the one that they're suggesting, is a misdemeanor. But if it's in the furtherance of another crime, If it's in the furtherance of another crime, then it becomes a felony. Now he's going to say this. I don't know if we're going to watch this whole thing. This guy's boring as fuck, but he doesn't charge with any other crime. Dangerous. See, what other crime? Here's the thing. The New York statute doesn't require them to actually charge somebody or convict somebody of a crime. So in this instance, John, thank you so much. Thanks for showing this. I couldn't believe it. I know. Oh, this motherfucker. Thank you so much for the donation. Okay, I'll give you a good example. Let's say, well, fuck it. Let's just use this. What he's suggesting is that Donald Trump was helping to cover the crime of an illegal campaign, illegal campaign contribution. See, this is what they're saying is that Michael Cohen paying that off, and AMI, the people who own, is it the National Enquirer, who bought McDougal's story and just kept it hushed, that those things are campaign contributions. So that's over the limit that you can pay, that you can give for campaign contributions. So therefore, that's a crime. So when they wrote it in their ledger, they were covering up a crime. They don't actually have to convict for the other one. They don't have to convict or even charge. So they could say that, okay, we think that they did this so that they could murder somebody. We don't actually have to have the murder. You don't. McDougal would make him look at, yeah, if they see these shows, Dirty Skank. You see McDougal from back then? Fuck, that girl was cute. Alan, thank you so much for the donation with no message. Oh, it's such a fucking stupid thing. And look, I should say this. I'm not a lawyer. We have to say that kind of shit because there are lawyers who know more about, the legal process itself. But I can't fucking read. That seems unconstitutional, says a bald potato. But it's not. Ain't that a bitch? Should we be worried about Jack? No. He either fell asleep or he's somewhere watching something. And he's not paying attention to Twitter Twitter, because that's where he would see the notification. Anyway, let's get back to Potato Head here. Seriously, doesn't his head look like a Mr. Potato Head? I mean, the shape and everything. And the color. That's not a black joke. I mean, it's the same color as a Mr. Potato Head. I have trouble. I can see the little hat on top. I can't help but picture it. Somebody should totally take a picture of this guy's potato head and put the actual Mr. Potato Head stuff on there. It would fit.
Under New York State law, it is a felony to falsify business records.
Wrong.
With intent to defraud.
Wrong.
And an intent to conceal another crime. That is exactly what this case is about.
Bullshit.
34 false statements.
All right, let's talk about that for a minute. That's exactly what this is about. When they released the indictment, they also released what they call a statement of fact. The statement of fact is a fucking thing of beauty. It really, really is. Hang on, let me I wasn't going to bring it up because it's long and it's annoying and it pissed me off. But that they released this, they basically tell you that this is a political prosecution. I mean, like almost, they might as well have said it. In this, they actually talk. They actually talk about the grab them by the pussy statement. That's brought up in this, which has literally nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it. And there's a couple of lawyers out there who have said, this is a mess. This is a fucking joke. And of course, the people who are anti-Trump, there's some anti-Trump people out there like, this is fucking sad. But the ones who are diehard, your Bulwark and Lincoln, what are they called? The Lincoln Project. Those assholes, they're all, no, this is the best. This is perfect. No, this is a piece of shit. I wonder what Nick Rekieta thinks about this sham of a case. I don't know if he's going to cover it. This is a very political case, and I don't know if he would actually cover it. I hope he does. I hope he weighs in, because I would like to hear an actual lawyer go over this word for word. And I'm sure like Nate will probably do it. Nate, the lawyer, maybe a couple of the other ones. I don't know if Nick will go into this, because this is really politically. He doesn't quite lean into politics that much. But this, I mean, it's absurd. This Nick went on with Crowder. Did he really? Cool. Good for him. Joe went over it. Oh yeah, Joe would be another one I would expect to go over it. I just don't know if this would be like a Nick kind of material. He'd be great at doing it because he's fucking Nick, but it's just such a joke. It's such a fucking joke. The indictment itself is 34 counts of the same goddamn thing with different dates and switching back and forth from whether it's the invoice that was sent or whether it was the payment that was sent. That's what it is. And it's fucking asinine. Couldn't Alvin have gone for something more credible like the Steele dossier or Russian collusion? I don't know why he didn't just walk away from this one. I really don't. This one makes no sense. At this point, CNN actually, you know what? Fuck it. We're all over the place already. Let's pull up that video from CNN. Sorry, I wasn't expecting to do this, so I gotta do some producing in the background here real fast. Oh, we'll talk about Rolling Stone in a minute. That fucking piece of shit. All right. Will they allow me to make this bigger? Oh, do I have to watch an ad first? Yeah, I gotta watch an ad first. Oh, fuck. 29 seconds. Jesus. All right, look. News people, stop that shit. Keldrick, thanks so much. Lincoln Project, more like Lincoln Projection. I know, man. They're horrible. And they were, partially started by a man who was trying to groom men so he could have, groom boys so he could have sex with them. That's true. Look it up. I didn't invent that. All right. Let me pause it, bitch. All right. So this is a CNN analyst who's going to be telling us or talking to us about this, right? I keep forgetting I don't have to switch back all the time now. There we go. I got sound back on.
John Miller is with me now here in New York.
Bless, that bitch is loud. All right. Well, I'm not going to turn it down much. Evolved Potato, thank you so very much. Before we go on and watch, I have trouble watching CNN because so many of them are fucking stupid. They really are. All the media were saying what a sad day it was, but they weren't really sad. Who was it? There's somebody out there who has a supercut of all of the media saying it was bad, and another supercut of them all saying that there was a what's the fucking word? Conspiracy charge. They kept all of this. The media kept going the charge of conspiracy. There's not a single fucking conspiracy charge in there, not one. But every fucking one of these guys was up there saying it. Anyway, Vol Potato, thank you. I just can't wrap my brain around not saying what crime was covered up. How can you prove it was a crime was covered up if the crime hasn't been proven or even acknowledged what the crime was? All right, I can answer that. What they're going to point to is New York state law. They don't have to prove that it was a crime. They just have to say it was a crime. I understand what you're asking, but this is what they're going to do. They're going to say that because it's a crime in New York to have more campaign contributions than allowed, therefore there was a crime, which, by the way, Cohen went to jail for. He did plead guilty to campaign finance, but that was a federal charge. Because that was a crime, them doing this is a crime. They don't have to prove it. They're going to say what they think the crime was. They just don't have to prove that that was done. And I hear you. It doesn't make a lot of sense. It's fucking stupid. But then again, this entire thing is fucking stupid. All right, so let's get back to this. This is interesting.
York chief law enforcement and intelligence agents. And John, I want to talk more about how, Bragg is using basically a complicated set of laws here, right? And
no, he's actually not using a complicated set of laws. He is misusing very simple laws.
Very complicated.
No.
Now, what's interesting here, he's trying to use, to get this to a felony account. You say, oh, he was doing it in furtherance of winning an election. But what's interesting here from what you're reporting is that Bragg has tried something like this before.
So, I mean, what he's done here is he has paired up one very standard set of laws with one very unique partner.
No. He's taken a very standard law and abused it. That's what he's done. Let's be clear on that. All of these fucking talking heads, it's so complicated. No, it's not. It's not. He's alleging that they falsified a business record. That's a very simple law. Did what you write down in your business ledger, is that true? No? All right, that's a misdemeanor. You owe us some money for a fine. And what he did then is take another very simple law. Or was this in furtherance of a crime? Like, were you drug dealing to make your extra money? Yeah? Well, then that's the felony charge. That's what this is. And he's not taking a complicated law and what he's doing is fucking lying. He's taking this law that's very simple and just trying to prove that he's the one that got the Trump. He ran on getting Trump. His predecessor did not take this. Vance, I forget his first name. DA Vance is like, yeah, there's nothing here. There's nothing to do here. Bragg himself wasn't going to bring this. And then he got all that media pressure. Vance, thank you, Jennifer. He got media pressure because two people in his office quit over it. And they're like, how dare you not bring this? Vance with a V. V is in vagina. Vagina. Anyway,
in this idea that
a unique partner.
Well,
the one that's doing all the muscle lift. Yeah.
Right. The one that says it's not just falsifying business records, but it's for the purposes of influencing an election. And there's a state statute that goes with that. These haven't been together before in a similar case in New York State.
Because this is bullshit. But let's not talk about that.
So people are talking about, motion papers are coming. This is going to get dismissed. This is never going to work. Bragg just did a case where they used a state, New York state, not federal, terrorism law for a crime that occurred in two other countries for a defendant who had never been to New York County, to wit, Manhattan. And everybody said that case is going to fail. It started like this, an investigation under Vance, and it was completely unique. Defendant was convicted on all charges and sentenced to 18 years about the week before last.
I don't know if you paid attention to what he just said there. And no, Dangerous, I'm fine with that. I know where they are. Bragg just got a conviction to a guy for a terrorism law in New York City who supposedly committed terrorism overseas and had never even been to New York. And the guy ended up with 18 years. I don't know if the guy's a terrorist or not, but that seems pretty fucking despicable to me. I can't be the only one who thinks that, right? This guy's talking about like, look, he did it. He did it. He abused the law and got away with it. How the fuck do you charge somebody for a crime that didn't happen where you're charging them with the fucking crime? You should be up there going, hey, look, this is what this dirty fuck has done before. And he's like, nah, he's presenting it as though, look how badass he is. Look how badass he is. Look how he takes that law and bends it to his will. What the fuck? Anyway, sorry. That when I read or listened to this, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. You think that's a good thing? I realize you hate Trump and you're hoping he gets convicted, but really? Yeah, this guy committed a crime overseas and they got him in New York for it.
So what I'm saying here is
just because it hasn't been done before doesn't mean it can't be done successfully by Alvin Bragg.
That's what I was saying.
There's my summary right
yeah.
now.
But I mean, there's a little daring, there's a little creativity, but it's not bound to fail.
A little creativity. Oops. There's a fucking commercial playing over there now. When you have to talk about how the prosecutor's getting creative to try to get people, you should be asking questions. You shouldn't be talking him up like he's fucking Batman out there just dealing with the crime of the world. This is misconduct. The judges should be throwing this shit out. I'm with you, Faithless. Absolutely, 100%. But no. That didn't sound like a commercial. It was. There was like somebody, I think it was shaving their legs. I have no idea. Daring and creative equals banana republic. Yeah, this is fucking stupid. If you don't have an actual crime, you shouldn't be out there making up crimes so that you can get people. And in fact, prosecutors who do that should lose their license, their job, and their freedom. Anyhow, grounds for appeal if I've ever. I know. I don't know how this. And can we also point out? No, I'm going to wait because he's going to say something really stupid here in a second.
Made to cover up other crimes. These are felony crimes in New York State, no matter who you are. We cannot and will not normalize serious criminal conduct.
Did you hear that? We cannot and will not allow serious criminal conduct. This is the guy who ordered the assistant DAs underneath him not to prosecute people who had guns when they were committing crimes, even violent crimes. This is the guy who releases criminals. This motherfucker to stand up to, hey, we can't allow serious. Are you fucking with me? What the fuck are you talking about? You let murderers go. You let people who have just violently assault people go, and then they go around and rape somebody or kill somebody. We've seen story after story of the people who've done this because of your policies, you piece of shit. And you're going after Donald Trump for, if you're correct, trying to keep a couple of whores from talking. That's your serious crime. Paying these women a bunch of money to keep their dick suckers shut. No, that's a serious. We can't have that kind of crime here in New York City. Nah, bruh. That's just too far. That guy over there just shot and raped that woman. Psh, he's a good guy. This motherfucker over here who wrote a check. Do you realize how serious that is? Do you realize? You do understand what's happening with this case, right, guys? Do you guys get what this is about? This is about the 2016 election. This is just another way to say Trump cheated. Trump wasn't legitimate. That's what he's saying. He cheated in New York to win the election. That's what this fat fuck is up there saying. They done this serious crap. Fuck you. I am so tired of these people who are going after Donald Trump for no other reason. And that's all it is. No other reason than he took away her turn. Because that's what it is. That's what all this shit is. At least when you get into things like the DOJ or the case down there in Georgia, at least you're talking about things that happened in the 2020 election, right? Actually, after the 2020 election. You're talking about things that, okay, maybe you actually think a crime happened there. I don't believe they do, but maybe. In this case, this is about Hillary losing. And I hadn't even put that together until I was reading the statement of fact. And I was like, oh my God. I thought it was just about Trump hate. This is literally about the 2016 election. It's what it all revolves around. Alvin here is like, hey, if they didn't give that whore that money, Trump might have lost. It was 2016. He, by the way, you know what else is in that indictment? One of the stories that nobody, as far as I know, had heard before was there was a doorman who worked for Trump Tower who was, what was it he was going to tell people? That Donald Trump had an illegitimate child. Justin, thank you. Monkey supports white collar crime. Cool. I don't think there was any crime here. I don't think paying off a whore to keep her mouth shut should be a crime. Anyhow, this doorman was going to go was out trying to sell this story. He was asking for something like $30,000. Going to tell the story that Trump had an illegitimate child. Turns out it was a fucking lie. It was a huge fucking lie. Got some hush money for it though. Paid him off to shut him the fuck up. It's almost as though that people will lie about famous people in an attempt to extort them. Almost like that. You know, I haven't seen anybody say Stormy Daniels has no proof about this, and she actually tried to sue Trump and lost ridiculously. So maybe she should be charged, with influencing the election and extortion. Nah, bro. Can Trump sue Bragg in the city for this? I don't believe so. Maybe. I don't think he would, though. You just kind of let it go. It's called settling out of court, isn't it? I mean, it could be. Some guy on Twitter asked me, so you're okay with campaigns paying for NDAs? Well, one, that's not what happened. The campaign is not accused in any manner here. In fact, all of this is from after the election. But campaigns pay for NDAs all the time. People who go to work for campaigns in paid positions sign NDAs. It's so you don't go out there and, spill all the beans. No, that's not what I meant, dude. Well, you didn't even have the facts right, so why would I talk to you? You're okay with campaigns paying for NDAs? It happens all the fucking time. How come none of you guys are bitching about it? It helps these people win their elections. Oh, but it wasn't paid for. Oh, wait, they're paid. Huh. Interesting. But they're paid by the campaign, so I guess that's a little workaround. I hate this shit.
The defendant repeatedly made false statements on New York business records. He also caused others to make false statements. The defendant claimed that he was paying Michael Cohen for legal services performed in 2017.
He actually claimed that he was paying for a retainer. And you can keep a lawyer on retainer without them actually ever doing anything for you. They're just on call for you for whenever you need it. And this is where Cohen comes into this, and you have to believe Cohen. If the conspiracy that isn't charged, if the conspiracy is true, what happened is that Cohen wasn't actually charging Trump for legal services. I think you could still make the argument that even if it was exactly as they say, that it was for legal services, he was facilitating the legal paying of keeping that bitch's mouth shut. But anyway, Trump is Professor X. Well, the way he said that, Mick, let me explain, because he goes, causing other people to make false statements. Because Cohen would fill out a fake invoice, and that was Trump's fault because it was this conspiracy to fuck Stormy Daniels, his old ugly ass.
This simply was not true. And it was a false statement that the defendant made month after month in 2017.
Month?
April, May, June, and so on.
In case you guys forgot how months work, every month, April, May, and June, those are 3 months. Fucking retard.
Through the rest of the year.
Mm-hmm.
For 9 straight months,
the
defendant held documents in his hand containing this key lie, that he was paying Michael Cohen for legal services performed in 2017.
Faithless makes a good point, like Trump writes his own checks. Actually, these are checks signed by Donald Trump. The first 2, I want to say it was the first 2. were from the Trump trust, and then which is still his money. And those two were signed by, at least the first one was signed by Donald Trump Jr., I believe. And some, because they're two trustees have to sign them. Donald Trump Jr. and somebody else. And then two other people signed off on the second one. And then, yeah, they came from Trump's personal business account or personal checking account. So even if it wasn't him, it was somebody with his power of attorney. I'm guessing they have his actual signature. If I remember right, they do have his actual signature.
And he personally signed checks
See?
for payments to Michael Cohen for each of these 9 months.
Months.
In total, the grand jury found there were 34 documents with this critical false statement. Why did Donald Trump repeatedly make these false statements?
Because there was a whore about to come out and say that she had sucked his dick back in, what was it, 2006? Is that when this is all from? Don't forget, it's not really suggested. If I remember correctly, this isn't suggested that he was banging her right before the election. This is from years ago. It's from the year after he married Melania. And suddenly, not when he's on The Apprentice. Nah, he's not going to tell people about it then. Nah.
The evidence will show that he did so to cover up crimes relating to the 2016 election.
See right there? The 2016 election.
Donald Trump, executives at the publishing company American Media Incorporated, Mr. Cohen, and others agreed in 2015 to a catch and kill scheme. That is
He's going to explain what it is, but in the catch and kill scheme, Stormy Daniels, that wasn't actually a catch and kill scheme. I'll explain in a minute.
a scheme to buy and suppress negative information to help Mr. Trump's chance of winning the election.
All right. A catch and kill scheme is what they say happened with McDougal, the one that they never talk about, and who got paid more money, reportedly. So AMI, the National Enquirer people, they paid her $150,000 for her story and then never ran it. That's a catch and kill. It's where some publisher will buy the rights to a story, or some person will buy the rights to a story and then just kill the story. You sign an exclusive contract with me. I'm the only person who can tell this story. Don't worry, I'll do it. And then you just never publish it. What happened with Stormy Daniels was, yeah, you're kind of a dirty bitch. If we give you some money, will you shut up? It wasn't, hey, we're going to tell your story. And I know it's a minor thing to point out, but everybody's so concentrated on the Stormy Daniels thing. What he just described there isn't with Stormy. That's the McDougal thing. Which, by the way, AMI settled with the federal government. They did not agree that a crime was committed, but they paid a fine for what happened. I think it was like $180,000. 182, if I remember correctly. But they paid a fine for it being an in-kind election contribution.
As part of this scheme, Donald Trump and others made 3 payments to people who claimed to have negative information about Mr. Trump.
How come you're not charging Cohen?
To make these payments, they set up shell companies, and they made yet more false statements.
Donald Trump didn't set up the shell company. That was set up by Cohen. Every charge here comes from Cohen, and Cohen was a part of if a crime happened. He's not charged at all. Because he became a witness. Do you think they offered Donald Trump the chance to become a witness against Cohen? You think it happened that way? Do you think they were like, hey, we're going to offer each of these guys a deal to see who will flip on who first? You think that happened? You think they were just that? We can't allow this stuff to happen. By the way, this little shit here who was involved in all of this and who's admitted to lying before Congress and went to federal prison for saying that he did this shit. We're going to let that guy go. We're going to let that dude go because we care about crime. With this serious crime, we got to take it serious.
Including, for example, in AMI, American Media Incorporated's business records. One of the 3 people that they paid to keep quiet was a woman named Stormy Daniels. Less than 2 weeks before the president.
Actually, her name is Stephanie Ugo. I can't remember her last name. That's her stage name, man. I mean, we all call her by that, but you're a prosecutor in this case. Shouldn't you be using her real name? Again, it's a minor point, but it's just these little things piss me off. Cohen's book is called Revenge. Look, this is Cohen trying to get back at Trump for Trump not pardoning him when he got himself in trouble. Cohen is a dirty piece of shit and has been for a long time, apparently.
Presidential election, Michael Cohen wired $130,000 to Stormy Daniels' lawyer.
And we're not charging Michael Cohen.
That payment was to hide damaging information from the voting public. The participants.
See? It's to hide damaging information from the voting public. It's about it's about robbing Hillary of her time. This is about Donald Trump. He's not a legitimate president. That's what this all is.
Scheme was illegal.
Mm-hmm.
The scheme violated New York election law.
Which one?
Which makes it a crime to conspire to promote a candidacy by unlawful means.
But which unlawful mean? To promote a candidate by unlawful means. Now, I don't know what the New York election laws are when it comes to in-kind campaign contributions. Considering this was a federal election and not the New York election, they're going to run into a lot of problems with this. Because I doubt, see, there's a reason we have the Federal Election Commission and we have the DOJ who looks into this kind of stuff. There's a reason that they didn't go after him. I saw one bitch today who's like, look, he never got in trouble because his DOJ said that you can't charge a sitting president. Okay, fair enough. How long's Biden been president? How long has Bill Barr been out of that? Bill Barr, they keep pointing, Bill Barr. He didn't charge him because he's just Trump's boy. Really? Have you seen what he said about January 6th? Did you notice that he quit before the term was over? And his replacement, Mr. Garland, has not charged Donald Trump for this. He absolutely could. But anyhow, did you see what Cohen called Trump on Ari Melber's show? I did not.
The $130,000 wire payment exceeded the federal campaign contribution cap.
Do you guys have a law in New York that says you can't exceed the federal contribution cap?
And the false statements in AMI's books violated New York law.
Charge them.
That is why Mr. Trump made false statements about his payments to Mr. Cohen. He could not simply say that the payments were a reimbursement for Mr. Cohen's payments.
Yes, he can.
To Stormy Daniels.
You have to prove that they weren't, fat man.
To do so.
See, this is what we talked about yesterday with the proving a negative, right? Prove that was for that stuff. Well, I have an invoice for it. But I said that's not what that really is. In order to believe this, you have to believe a man who is on a vendetta against Donald Trump, who is an admitted liar. And not just an admitted liar, admitted to lying under oath.
To make that.
That is his star witness. I love that about this whole case.
True statement would have been to admit a crime. So instead, Mr. Trump said that he was paying Mr. Cohen for fictitious legal service.
Okay, hang on. I got it real quick. I've had the Rumble chat open this whole time, and the only thing that was there was me saying be here in a few minutes. And right then, A whole bunch of people just popped up. I wasn't ignoring you guys. I'm so sorry. I noticed this earlier when I was watching Trump's speech on Rumble. Rumble's having some issues right now with keeping up. I think they're doing a lot better than even they think they are, and they need to update some servers. They also did some behind the scenes updates recently. And seriously, I was not ignoring you guys. Cannibal says X, he's Xing to doubt. Do I not tell you guys when I'm ignoring you? I might deny it at first, but I come clean. No, but that was really weird because there was nothing there and then suddenly bam. So I do apologize to you guys. This was not a boomer thing or a monkey being an ignorers thing. It just happened.
Services in 2017 to cover up actual crime committed the prior year.
Actual crime.
And in order to get Michael Cohen his money back, they planned one last false statement.
Yeah, what was that?
In order to complete the scheme, they planned to mischaracterize the repayments to Mr. Cohen as income.
Prove it.
To the New York State tax authorities.
You have the word of a confessed liar.
The conduct I just described, and that which...
Notice he doesn't bring that up. Colorful says it just got here. Okay, so I wasn't ignoring you yet. No, honestly, it did just pop up. But notice that he doesn't actually... This is such a joke.
Charge.
He doesn't bring up, yeah, my proof of this is a fucking notorious degenerate liar.
By the grand jury is felony criminal conduct in New York State.
Bullshit.
True and accurate business records are important everywhere, to be sure.
All right. He says this several times, and I know this is going way too long because we still got 8 minutes of this fucker left. But he keeps bringing this up. I understand needing the true and accurate records, but we're not talking about a drug deal here. We're talking about taxes being paid. We're talking about money being transferred to people for legal reasons that would be legal under any circumstance other than it's too much of a campaign contribution. All right, fair enough. Where's the harm to New York State in Donald Trump? And this is assuming that everything else is true. Where's the harm here? Where's it's important for us to get this business. Where's the harm to New York State for a company still declaring all of their income, all their outlays? They're not hiding that they were, running some criminal enterprise. Where's the harm? You brought 34 counts, felony counts, over this stupid shit. Fucking asshole.
They are all the more important in Manhattan.
Are they?
The financial center of the world.
Oh, I get it.
That is why we have a history in the Manhattan DA's office of vigorously enforcing white-collar crime.
Do you guys remember what the folks on CNN were saying? Just because it's never been done before, we have a history. You do not have a history of this bullshit, and you goddamn well know it. Yeah, we have a history of fighting white-collar crime. One, bullshit. Bullshit. And two, never like this. How dare you? I seriously hate this fucker. This is a Soros-backed DA. He's one of those shitheads. He's the one who has been making it so violent crime in New York is not punished. Fuck this guy.
My office, including the talented prosecutors you saw at
isn't that great? We're fighting the white collar crime. How about that murder rate? Hey. Did you know Donald Trump may have paid off a dirty whore? We're not talking about that murder rate right now. Those dead people, fuck those dead people. That's not real crime. Thank you, Frank Hubbard. White collar crime, maybe, definitely not the rest. It's just not. No, they do not have a major history of this. Who's that one? The one DA that they had, was it Spitzer? He was maniacal about going after white collar crime, and then he got busted himself. So yeah, they do not have a great history of going after white collar crime. Line fuck.
Raymond earlier today
has
charged hundreds of felony falsifying business records.
Not like this.
This charge, it can be said, is the bread and
Not like this, you shithead.
butter of our white collar work.
Was it Elliot Spitzer? I forget his name exactly. This goes back to, I want to say, the 90s. They had a dude who was really tough on white collar crime. He went after a ton of people. Did very well for himself too. Until he got busted, being a criminal piece of shit himself.
And fraud presents itself in all different forms here in Manhattan. We have charged falsifying business records for those who violated federal bank secrecy laws. We have charged falsifying business records for those who were seeking to cover up sex crimes. And we have
I'm just gonna let that sit for a second. You're comparing this to hiding sex crimes. By the way, if you guys are talking on Rumble, nothing has popped up since Color for Glass last chatted.
brought this charge for those who committed tax violations. At its core, this case today is one with allegations like so many of our white collar cases. Allegations that someone lied again and again to protect their interests and evade the laws to which we are all held accountable.
Okay, I can see Oni. Bullshit. You're sitting there. Well, yeah, we've done this with federal banking criminals. We've done it with sex criminals. We've done it with tax criminals. We have a long history of doing this. When was the last time you guys charged a guy for falsifying a record to pay some whore not to tell her story to cause an election to be won? How come Stormy Daniels isn't being accused of trying to influence the election? The bitch comes forward, what, a week, 2 weeks before the election? This is when this is supposedly happened. Nobody's charging her with that shit. Nobody's even talking about that shit. Didn't know so many ran for president, right? We've charged people with this before, okay? Yeah, but not in this situation. I've had my dick out, right? But if I pull it out in the middle of a Walmart, I can't be like, hey, I've had my dick out before. Well, yeah. When you're at home peeing, or you're in a bathroom peeing, or you're about to have sex, or you're going to take a shower, sure, that's normal. Pulling out in the middle of Walmart's a different thing. Oh, no, man, I've had it out before, so it's normal for it. Yeah, we do. I do it all the time. Pull my dick out all the time. Yeah, but what you just did is still wrong. It's a different fucking situation.
As this office has done time and time again, we today uphold our solemn responsibility to ensure that everyone stands equal before the law.
Bullshit. You are running defense for Hillary fucking Clinton, you dirty piece of shit.
No amount of money and no amount of power changes that enduring American principle.
Really? All right, let's talk about that. No amount of money, no amount of power can stop that enduring. What are the charges against Cohen? Where are your charges against Cohen? Why aren't they charged together? Why is he given a free pass? The guy who's admitted to doing this shit, the guy who says he's done it, he gets a free pass. The guy who's like, I ain't do that shit. They're like, no, it's him. Get him. For fuck's Jesus fucking Christ.
I'll now take questions.
All right, that's the end of it. The questions are really hard to hear, and his answers are stupid anyway. So, yeah, there we go. There's Alvin Bragg being a douchebag. Fuck. Yeah, I don't even know. I don't even know what to say about this. It's so fucking ridiculous. You know, when it came out last night that they were charging him with financial crimes, with falsifying records, I was like, okay, this should be interesting. This should be interesting. And then we see the actual charges. I'm like, but really? Spaghetti God, thank you so much. Their tax system commits tax fraud and shipping fraud, knowingly charging innocent people. But you're after Trump. You're a joke, DA. You should have been put on a grand jury instead of Mr. DA. Yeah. It's just so nonsensical. Thank you so much, Spaghetti God, for that donation. That's very, very kind. This has never been done before. And not just the charging of a former president, because that's what they're all so. Do you know why they concentrate on that? It's the same reason they concentrated on the no president has ever been impeached twice before. Well, being impeached doesn't mean shit. It really doesn't. Being convicted of an impeachment is what's important. And no president has ever beaten an impeachment twice before. But they never say it that way. And you know why, right? It's propaganda. You'll notice that these people, they do all talk alike. You know, Dangerous, could you pull up those two clips for me? Because you'll notice these people, they speak the same language. It's as though they get a little memo that says these are the talking points. And you know what's funny about that? We know this is not a guess. This is not conspiracy theory. This came out during the Obama years, that the Obama administration used to come out and have phone calls, secret phone calls with reporters telling them what they wanted them to cover each week. That's not fake. That is fucking real. That happened. Do you guys think that it was just the Obama administration, that the DNC is not involved in doing the same fucking thing, considering that the politicians on the left and the news reporters all use the same goddamn language? Thank you, Chio. If we're prosecuting previous crimes in New York because we're now tough on crime, I heard there's some dead grandma killer administration that wasn't prosecuted. Yeah, he wasn't. He got away with that shit. Did you guys see Cuomo had the balls to come out and talk about this? I didn't read it. I don't know what he said. I just saw a headline. But Andrew fucking Cuomo weighed in on the Trump indictment. That motherfucker should be just hiding. Thank you, Dangerous. The conspiracy clip first. Yeah, that's a good one. All right. So in the indictment, there's not a single mention of conspiracy. There's not a conspiracy charge. But, oh, by the way, Tom Elliott is the one who had the other supercut, Dangerous, if that makes it easier to find.
Donald Trump pleaded not.
Well, I didn't mean to shut her up. Stop. I meant to make it big and I just missed. All right. Let's go back and listen to this silly bitch. That is really loud, though. I'm going to turn it down just a tad.
Donald Trump pleaded not guilty in a Manhattan courtroom, again, to 34 counts of falsifying business records and conspiracy.
Wrong.
Conspiracy is a very effective tool used by prosecutors to
not used in this case. So let's talk about it.
charge groups of people and hold them accountable for all acts in furtherance of the conspiracy. But the big question now arises, who is the conspiracy with?
There's no charge of conspiracy, you dumb son of a bitch. Thank you, Dangerous.
It's 34 counts.
Is this Marsha, what's her name from the OJ trial? Marsha Clark? Is that her? She kind of looks like a really old Marsha Clark, the chick setting to the, it'd be Trump's right, but it's on our left. Does anybody know? I'm sure there's something out there, and it probably would have been a much bigger deal if it had been.
Of falsifying records. And
oh, Mess says, how do they not see the future backlash from this? Well, if you're talking about retaliation, they never think they're going to be out of power. If you're talking about just in the public square, there's not going to be enough. The majority, remember this, the Obama administration had no scandals. Just remember that.
and conspiracy is 34 counts of falsifying business records and conspiracy.
More information.
We need to see what purpose of the conspiracy, who was in the conspiracy, what were the so-called overt acts. You actually have to take a step in furtherance of that conspiracy. You don't actually have to complete the conspiracy. You don't actually have to go through with it. You can just intend to go through with it.
Now, the conspiracy count is important because it doesn't just give the district attorney a legal platform.
The conspiracy count. There is literally no conspiracy count. Not a single fucking one.
To make Alec, to bring in the catch and kill narrative. But it actually will likely be what's called a speaking indictment.
We have new information for the first time out of court that the DA is charging this as a false business records and conspiracy case.
You have a conspiracy count that lets you give a narrative that describes the evidence that the grand jury heard and voted on, which is very different than a dry.
By the way, a lot of people were apparently talking about this police officer in the back and how cute she is. She's all right. She's not the chick from that one trial, the angry cop. What was that from the Rittenhouse trial? Remember, it was her, right? That had that really cute but mean cop up there. And she's all right.
30 counts of falsifying business records, which is the same paragraph repeated 30 times.
Now, that's important because he just talked about it. He knows. He's seen the indictment. He's seen the fucking indictment. And he still says the conspiracy charge. There's not a fucking conspiracy charge in there. It does not exist.
There are 34 counts of falsifying business records and conspiracy. So add the conspiracy element to this.
I feel like that's enough. It keeps going, and I'll drop the link so you guys can. Well, I'll drop the link over on Rumble because you guys didn't get it. But you can just go up to where Dangerous. Thank you so much for that, my friend. I appreciate it. Oh, you know what? This is a good time to remind you guys I'm brought to you by you. Hit the like button, the share button. If you would, please consider donating to the monkey so that I can eat. I like to eat. And, there's people out there like, oh, give it to me so I can keep doing this for you. I don't have a choice because I'm crippled and I can't do anything else. So if you don't pay me, I'm still gonna do this. But if you're so inclined, if you enjoy the show and have the means, please consider. All right, so there's the supercut, and it goes on. We only got, I guess there was only probably one more person. The next one, this one's great. This one is just amazing. Remember that these are people who have been cheering and begging for Donald Trump to be indicted. They've been wanting it.
It's a sad day for America.
It's sad.
Hard stop.
This is no time for celebration.
Fuck you.
You know what?
Sorry, that's my natural reaction to seeing Adam Schiff. Fuck you.
I think it's sad.
I have fought Trump for a long time, but I'm sad that this has happened.
How are you feeling about a historic day? It's sad.
And this is a day of profound sadness that an ex-president is indicted, but it's also a time to celebrate.
Because it's a sad moment to see a former president have to do this, even though we feel it could lead to justice.
I still can't get used to Al Sharpton looking like that. He need to be fat with his medallion.
If you don't see this, it's a sad day for America.
It was a sad day when they found that dead woman in your office, dude.
It's a sad day for America.
It's a sad day. Well, I don't think anybody can consider it a good day.
Regardless of anything, it's just really sad.
It's a sadness, I think, that we got to this point.
I just want to remain measured.
The left, full of somber support.
I think really this should be a somber moment. It is a serious, somber, solemn.
All right, that's enough of that shit, too. You get the point. I mean, they all have the exact same fucking talking point. Every fucking one of them. And that was on two different topics. First, the sadness first the conspiracy and then the sadness. It's just so sad. All right, I'm going to take a poll. Give me a 1 if you believe a single one of those motherfuckers was sad. Give me a 2 if you're so dumb that you believe them that I could sell you one of my bridges. Because I have a bunch of them. I got a ton of these bridges. Shipping and handling is extra. Fucking, we're so sad. I'd say Adam Shifty should choke on a dick if I weren't confident he was already doing just that. Thank you so much, Keldrick. I'm so sad. I'm so sad. This conspiracy makes me sad. That's the only part we were missing from that to make it perfect, is somebody on one of them saying both of those things together. I'm so sad. I'm so sad. Shut up, bitch. You know why they're doing that, right? They want to look like the good people. They want to look like they actually didn't want this to happen. Because, you know, when I say things like, I don't want to see a president 25th in my lifetime, I mean that. I don't want to see Joe Biden get 25th. I think it needs to happen. But I said this before the election. I don't want to see one of our presidents. I don't want that to happen in my lifetime. That is a sad day for America. If our president has to, and I mean that sincerely. These motherfuckers have been begging for this shit for even before he was even fucking elected. You had some of these assholes up there before he was elected talking about him being impeached before he got in office, before the election happened, because he made a goddamn joke about the Russians finding Hillary's missing emails. And that became the story instead of Hillary's missing emails, which somehow, some of which turned up on Anthony Weiner's computer. You know, the convicted child sex pest. They don't give a fuck about that. Rolling Stone today had an article right after Trump's speech. Said after Trump's arraignment, he went back to his safe space at Mar-a-Lago. It's his fucking home. It's where he lives. It's literally his house. He went back to his safe space. He went home. You fucking assholes. But they got to make it sound like, oh, he retreated. He was a fucking bastard. And just to prove that, I'm going to put it on the screen in case anybody doubts that Rolling Stone is that goddamn stupid. Plus, it gives you guys something else to look at on the screen for those of you who watch. There it is. After a day of historic indignity spent getting booked and arraigned at a Manhattan courthouse without being fingerprinted or mugshotted, former President Donald Trump retreats to his safe space, Mar-a-Lago. All right. Let's talk about Rolling Stone for a minute. Rolling Stone just got busted because there was a reporter. I want to say he worked for ABC. Maybe he was a producer. Anyway, the guy just goes missing. And Rolling Stone puts out an article that he's been arrested. What they don't talk about is why he was arrested. He was arrested for having child porn. He was arrested for having child porn that included the rape of an infant. But Rolling Stone, this virtuous news organization, left that out of their reporting because the guy's friends with the owner. That's what Rolling, you know, if you're looking for a good source of information, they're also the ones who gave us the Jackie article. Remember that? The one that almost ruined and got rid of fraternities all over the country because, oh, this woman, she was raped at a fraternity party. And suddenly we had to have this national conversation about how boys will be boys and they're raping women left and right. And it turned out she was full of shit. And they knew she was full of shit when they ran it. True story. They knew it was a fucked up article when they ran it. And those are the people who have the fucking nerve to be taking shots at Donald Trump. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Go fuck yourself. I'm saying fuck a lot tonight. I'm sorry, guys. I am in a great deal of pain. I am kind of tired. I didn't sleep well today. And I woke up to a world of fucking stupid. Just really, really stupid. I did see something funny, though. My friend Beast Boy, I was watching one of his videos earlier, and he had one of the greatest lines I've ever heard. He said, "You're stupid. You're like super stupid. You should wear a cape." And I just fucking lost it. Beast Boy, well done on that. If you guys aren't watching Beast, he's still doing good stuff over there. You can judge a man by his enemies. A lot of the times you can. Look, I'm not saying Donald Trump's perfect. I'm really not. I'm not even saying that he's not guilty of other things. But the things that they're coming after him for, we have 3 right now that we know of. Well, you have Letitia James trying. You have the one in Georgia over a phone call. Then when it's first reported, it's like Donald Trump he said we need to find 12,000 votes. And then if you actually listen to the call, it's not him asking them to, falsify it. He means we need to go through and verify all the votes. We're only off by 12,000. This is close enough that, give us time to find the votes in there. That didn't mean that he was actually going to find them. Just give us time to see if they're there. That's what he was saying. And they're trying to get him on that for election fraud. You have this one where he banged a dirty whore or not, and to try to keep her quiet, maybe for the election, maybe to spare his wife. He may have paid her off, and his fucking shitty lawyer handled it shitty. Okay, you had 2. And then the third one is the DOJ investigation into January 6th, where there is no evidence of Trump telling people to go be violent. In fact, when he says, we'll be with you, we're going down to the Capitol, that was all planned. There was even a space at the Capitol where the people were supposed to go. There's nothing in there where you can say he told people to go be violent. Well, he didn't tell them to stop soon enough. That's not a fucking crime. There's no law that says the president has to tell people who are doing badly to stop doing badly. I never saw during the riots under Obama, I never saw him come out and go, hey, look, you guys, you need to stop this. Not during any of the riots. Did you guys ever see that shit? No. Matt Christensen's coverage of the story when the FBI raided a journalist, Rolling Stone, hid the reason why. I cover up for, oh, yeah. That's this. I mean, when I read that story, I was like, you got to be fucking shitting me. They hid what the guy was arrested for. They make it sound like nobody even knows. Well, yeah, he got arrested. And it turns out the original article had all of that in there. And the management stripped it out. Some dirty shit. Yeah, that indictment is sloppy. It is just stupid. The indictment isn't, I wouldn't say the indictment is sloppy because it's pretty boilerplate kind of legalese. The statement of fact is sloppy as shit. The case is sloppy as shit. Remember the January 6th shaman quoting his tweet and trying to get everyone to leave? Yeah. Have you guys noticed they've gotten real quiet about that shaman? He's not coming up very much anymore. And he got out of prison. By federal guidelines, he should still be in prison for another 7 months. But the footage on Tucker comes out and suddenly he gets out of jail. No, that's perfectly normal for us to let a guy out of prison against guidelines. He's out on good behavior, which under our rules should keep him in there for another 7 months. It had nothing to do with the timing of the Tucker thing. How dare you? How dare you fucking assholes. All right. Anyhow, you know what I kind of want to do? You guys want to have some fun tonight? I kind of want to watch Phil DeFranco's coverage of this. Are you guys down for that? Are you guys down to see what this fucking card had to say? Let's see. We're going to do it anyway. I don't know why I asked you guys. Because I find this shit funny as hell. All right. Let's go see what he had to say about this today. Because I'm sure this is going to be the best take I've heard of anything today. I'm positive. Think Trump can sue Bragg for malicious prosecution? He can try. And I think he has a good case on it, but it is New York. So do you think he'd actually get away with it? You think he'd actually win that? I don't think so. Why do you hate us? Because I like making fun of this motherfucker, and I haven't done it in a while. And I do got to give him some credit. He has lost weight. His head has gotten smaller. Good job. All right. I can't wait. I haven't watched this. I have no idea what he's going to say. Typically, when we do this, I've already seen him say something stupid. He said something funny at the end of the video. We're not going to go all the way to the end because he's got a lot of different stories in here. Have you guys noticed how long his videos are now? I noticed that the other day because I've only watched like one or two of them recently. I don't know why I started watching again. One of his fucking clickbait title. Oh, I do remember. It was the boxing thing. And he was the only person that had something up there that was explaining it to me. Damn it. But I've watched just a couple of times, and oh my God, they've gotten so much longer. You guys really hate DeFranco. I'm not a fan either. And again, I haven't watched him very much. Somebody keeps asking me about him. I forget who it is. Shit. I can see the name in chat, but I can't see what the letters are. Anyway, I don't watch him very often, but this is a major political story, and I have a feeling I'm going to go out on. I'm going to make a guess. I'm going to put on my Nostradamus hat. I'm going to put on my prognostication cap. That's a big word for me. And guess that by the end of this, I'm going to tell Phil to stay the fuck out of my lane because he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Let's see.
It's today again, so let's talk about the news. Starting with what a damn scene we saw in New York today. Obviously, we knew that today was going to be historic, with Donald Trump actually turning himself in today and pleading not guilty. Also, I want to note that I commonly say that Trump supporters, many of them, view him as a god king, and sometimes I get pushback. But literally, today in New York, you had elected Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene comparing him to Jesus.
President Trump is joining some of the most incredible people in history being arrested today. Nelson Mandela was arrested, served time in prison. Jesus was arrested and murdered by the Roman government.
All right.
Phil, she's not calling him a god there. She's comparing what happened to Jesus the man. For those of us who do believe Jesus existed, because there's some argument about that, whether he even exists. If you're an agnostic and atheist, that's the argument. Did he even exist? We have pretty decent records that he did. We're talking about what was done to him, not whether or not he could walk on fucking water, you retard. Jesus Christ. I think Trump and Jesus should be outraged at being compared to Mandela. I mean, that's fair too. Well, for Mandela's arrest, I don't know. South Africa and apartheid, that was some pretty nasty shit. Mandela himself, I have issues with, but a lot of the arrests that went on down there were nasty. But Phil here, they call him God King Trump, and look at this. She compared him to Jesus. Yes, Jesus being arrested and crucified by the Romans, you stupid shit. Not making Lazarus. God, I hate this motherfucker. Why am I doing this to us? I know why, because it's funny.
Bye-bye. All right.
Insane propagandists and bigot Green also getting a nice New York City welcome today.
You animal, you! Go back to the farm, you animal! They're looking for you at the sanctuary!
Can you imagine if somebody did that to AOC? If somebody called AOC an animal and told her to go back to the farm, you know, let's say a monkey called her a donkey. How many times have been called racist for calling that bitch a donkey? Imagine this video, but instead of Marjorie Taylor Greene, who, by the way, I don't like. I think I've made that perfectly clear on this show. The only time I've ever defended that bitch is when she was right, and that doesn't happen very often. I don't like her. I think she's a populist retard. If you like her, that's fine. I just don't find her very intelligent. So I'm not standing up for her because she's Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'm just imagining this kind of language pointed at any female Democrat. Any. Do you think Philly would be up there being like, oh, ha ha, bitch got what she deserved. That bitch got what she deserved. Look at this warm welcome. His bitch ass would be up there talking about how misogynistic it was.
You filthy animal! You QAnon lunatic! Hit her with the space lasers! Blast her with the fucking space lasers! Get the fuck out of New York, you racist, sick, filthy, infected ass!
That's a congresswoman in the United States. I don't care if you like her or not. That is a congresswoman in the United States trying to push through this angry fucking mob of people. And there's nothing being said. It's being, oh, ha, ha, ha. Fuck you people.
Animal! Get the f out of here!
But the main thing is, as I was filming, Trump officially became the first president to be criminally charged, with Trump pleading not guilty to 34 counts of falsifying business records in the first degree for his involvement in hush money payments made to porn star Stormy Daniels. Right, because this is all going down as
And McDougal and the doorman. If you're gonna get in my lane, at least cover it all. See, I told you guys earlier that it's not just Stormy, because I'm a good newsman. I actually give you guys all the facts, not just the stuff that I like. Thank you, Keldrig. But Monkey, I have it on Eufio's good authority that you actually love MTG and think she's the bestest person ever. Yeah, Keldrig, don't believe everything you read on the internet. Is that Michael Rappaport screaming? He was there. He is stupid. I'm confused about what happened. I don't know if that's Rappaport or not. I heard he was actually giving shit to anti-Trumpers. So I don't know. I haven't actually dug into the Rappaport situation. Somebody says, yes, it is. Okay.
As I'm filming today's show, we don't have a ton of the details just yet, with the indictment just now being unsealed, so we're going to be taking a closer look at the specifics very soon. But this is a rapid...
Phil can't read very fast, apparently. It's not very long, neither the indictment or the statement of fact. But I guess, Phil, if I'm you, I'm going to talk about it, even though I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. That's what I would do. That's what I would do.
Rapidly developing situation, where the DA is set to speak soon. Trump's expected to do the same tonight. And while prosecutors didn't ask for a gag order today, they did raise concerns with the judge about all the threats and violent rhetoric he's been posting on social media. And to that point, there are also concerns about the crowd of Trump supporters gathered around the courthouse that he's repeatedly incited in recent weeks. So luckily, as
I read an article today, said, was it 5 reasons? What, three or 5 or 4 or 5 reasons? I forget what the exact, it's from USA Today. You can look it up. Reasons why the crowd in New York City didn't turn violent. And it was funny because their reasoning is that they've lost support for Trump, and Trump didn't tell them exactly what to do.
As the reporting, things have been pretty peaceful, with the same dueling protests from both Trump supporters and opponents taking place out front. Videos also showing massive squads of media outside of the courthouse. But also, key thing, there's been tons of security and police presence. But the Donald Trump insanity isn't the only thing that's taken over New York recently, with it being reported that the Ozempic craze is now taking over the New York City subway system.
Okay, I don't care about it, the rest of that shit. All right, it wasn't as bad as I thought. He did a brief cover and didn't know what the hell he was talking about. Phil, let me help you out here. It's okay to wait until you know the story. It's okay. You can sit there and go, you know what? We're going to either put this show off for another hour so we can actually read this, or we'll do it tomorrow. It's perfectly fine to go, I don't know. We're not going to talk about it. Why can't you use a lapel mic? You know what? The problem with that lapel mic, my guess would be, is he doesn't have a very good one. I haven't watched him enough to know if this is like a new studio or something. With a lapel mic, you have to be very careful and make sure that it sits somewhere that it doesn't move around, because otherwise you get that scratching sound. And that would be my guess, is he's using it because it's easier than holding a regular mic, which I don't know if he even owns. Like a standard mic that you'd have on, because it looks like he's on the road. I have no idea if he is or not, but I've seen him do that before when he's on the road. And it might just come down to not being able to get it on his shirt properly without being an issue. I'm kind of disappointed by that. I wanted more. I wanted to see him deep dive into this so I could make fun of him. Phil, you are a disappointment to your mother, your father, the world and myself. You suck. Stay out of my lane. Even Ben Shapiro was saying, slow the fuck down, dude. To who? The clip is for attaching to your shirt, not for pinching it. Again, it's not, you can't just attach a lapel mic to your shirt. It has to be positioned very well. And I don't know if Phil has the best lapel mic there. I have a lapel mic. I wanted one because talking into a mic, a lot of times this is really hard for me sitting up straight. I get a lapel mic and I can sit back in my chair and it'd be a lot easier. The problem is I don't wear shirts. The skin is so sensitive. I don't wear a shirt very often. And I'm like, where the fuck am I going to pinch it to my fucking skin? I didn't think that went through very well. Evolve Potato, thank you. Did you see the judge's history is and his connections to certain political people that would definitely support Trump being guilty? I'm not saying he's biased and wouldn't be fair in a trial, but I'm heavily implying it. Yeah, I saw. Whoops, almost left the stream. I saw some of that stuff. The judge's daughter, and I'm not bringing up her name or putting her picture on the screen. She worked for Kamala Harris. And the dad, the judge, he's been involved in a couple of other cases with Trump. One of them being the recent one of the Trump organization, where was it the CFO went to prison. So I mean, he's been involved in other Trump cases too. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I met Phil, even at normal speed, he often talks like he has taken all the stimulants. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, he does talk kind of fast. But see, I appreciate that. I think most people online talk too slow. I've never listened to Shapiro or Phil and been like, God damn, slow down. I like a quick speaking. I speak fast for most people on the internet because most people on the internet talk like this. And that way you can watch them at 3.5 speed and they sound like a normal person. Ugh. $20 for a lapel stream? I don't think so. No, I don't have anywhere good to attach that. And my skin is sensitive. You think I want it worse with a pinch? No, I'm good. See the lie they were pushing the Don Jr., Eric, and MTG posted pictures of the judge's daughter. I did. I don't know if it's a lie or not because I didn't check it out myself. Reportedly, the one that I saw was that Donald Trump Jr. had posted a picture on Truth Social. So, body hair. You ever had your body hair pinched? That shit hurts. You'd hate Amber Lynn. I know. I do. I have trouble watching so many people because they talk so goddamn slow. It's okay. We can understand you. Speak like a normal fucking person. If I talked to them in real life, I'd probably slap them. Sargon, I'm looking at you. Actually, Sargon's not too horrible. Sargon talks fast enough that it's actually hard to watch him in higher speed. You ever watch what's that mumble mouth motherfucker? Fuck. He's like a physicist. No, not physicist. Fuck. Shit. Never mind. It's gone. I will remember his name later. All I'm getting at is some people talk way too slow. Thunderfoot. Yes. Thank you guys. Thunderfoot. He's one of those guys you could probably watch on 10X and he'd sound like a normal person. Now, in his defense, he's one of those English people that's got that way too big tongue. I don't understand what that is. Why do so many English people have fat tongues that don't fit in their mouth? I don't see that in America very often. I don't know if I've seen it in America. I mean, you get some people with some lisps now and then, but I see a lot of British YouTubers and their tongues just don't fit in their fucking mouths. I Am Alex. You guys know who he is? He was one of the worst, man. He was one of these kind of drama channels there for a while. And oh my God, I couldn't watch because his fucking tongue, he was like venom up in that bitch. A tongue just going everywhere. Does explain the bad teeth though. Tongue fucks him up, I guess. Why do you guys have such big tongues? Not necessarily long, just like fat. And there's like it doesn't. How do you close your mouth to like sleep? How do you not dribble shit out of your mouth constantly with that thing in the way? Anyhow, I didn't mean to insult all my British watchers. I just happen to be good at it. All right, let's move along to. Oh yeah, let's talk about this because this one annoyed the shit out of me. There was an election in Wisconsin tonight, and it was for one of the seats on their Supreme Court. Why was it tonight? I don't know. I'm guessing they had a runoff kind of thing, and the Democratic lady won. The Democratic lady won, and Jennifer Rubin here, this Republican, said this. She writes for the Washington Post. The size of the win in Wisconsin looks to be stunning. Republicans should be in full-blown panic about 2024. Do not mess with women. And it was that last part. It was that last part. I'm trying to imagine what would happen if there was an election. And now she's trying to say it's not because the woman won, it's because the woman cause won, right? This is so that they can have their abortion laws. All right. I'm trying to imagine what would happen if there was some election and a major men's issue was in there, right? Like somebody promised to end the nonsense of mothers getting children by default in divorce. Somebody promised that, and that person won. And somebody went to Twitter and said, do not mess with women. I'm gonna go on a little rant. One you've heard bits and pieces about before. We need to tell women to shut up. We need to stop pretending that women are somehow more powerful and smarter and better than men. Because that's what we've gotten to. They're just the best. You can't question anything they do. As long as it's a lefty woman, of course, which most of them are. You're not allowed, unless it's 2016 and you're blaming white women for electing Trump. But this notion, do not question women. Fuck that. It is the problem. It's absolutely the problem. It's not all women. I know, hashtag not all. And we all know there's a bunch of great women out there. We get a bunch of great women here in the audience. But the majority of them are fucking stupid liberals who just run with their feelings all the time. And we've seen it start to infect the conservative women. That lady the other night that we watched, the chick who screams at men in parking lots, I didn't see liberal women defending her. I saw conservative women defending her. You need to start standing up to women. When they say stupid shit, it's okay to tell them they said stupid shit. You're going to be called a misogynist. You're going to be called a woman hater, a sexist. It's okay. It's okay. Because if that's all they have is an insult, then all you got to do is hit them back with the facts again. It's all right to point out when somebody's being stupid, man or woman, white or black, cripple or abled, gay or straight. Nobody is magically perfect because of some goddamn group that they're a part of. But what was there? What was right there? Do not question women. That is the do not mess with women. That is the fucking problem that's going on right now. Women, I love you, but your compassion shit's got to stop. We complement each other. Men are more logical than women. It's just true. I don't want to hear any bullshit. Not all. I know. Hashtag not all. But for the most part, women tend to be more emotional. Men tend to be more logical. And we complement each other. And working together is how we get forward. Even if you go back to things like the founding of this country, oh, it was all white men. Sure. You know who had a very big influence on all of that? The women in those men's lives. Women temper us, and we used to temper them. But it's just been given over to women now. Whatever the woman's cause is, that's what you're supposed to go for. And that's why I say hashtag not all, because it, much like the trans bullshit, it's the activist shit. It is the feminist activist shit that needs to be called out. Women can be just as wrong as anyone else. Do not mess with women. Shut the fuck up. Don't question anybody. Don't question anybody. She got boobs. She got a vagina. I might not get to touch it if I question her. It's amazing watching YouTubers and Twitch people who pull this shit, who will just jump on a woman's side because she's a woman. We saw that with that Amaranth shit, where she quite clearly faked her husband who made her do all the nasty porny shit. Which, by the way, she's all involved again. I mean, she's on Twitch almost every night showing off them titties again. But that was her man, mate. She didn't want to do that shit. Really. And all of them fell for it. You had Ethan Klein, a large YouTuber, go out there and tell his audience to go after a man who wasn't even involved in it. They just, oh, it's the same name. Go get him. Let's send biological waste to his house. It's got to stop. And you women who are not with this stuff, you need to start speaking up. Not just for yourselves, definitely for yourselves. Absolutely for yourselves. But also so that men understand that not all women are like that. Every time we talk about dating and how it's going down and birth rates are falling and marriages are disappearing, the same thing comes up. I wouldn't date a woman today. You'll catch a charge. It's not worth it. Not all women are like that. But you wouldn't know that because the only people that you talked about are the fucking weird feminists. You know, guys, after the 2016 election, I made a video, and I'm going to bring it up again, where I said the SJWs are still winning. And I got some pushback on that. No, we won because Trump got elected. All that did was make them more determined. And we're seeing the consequence of that now to bring it back around to Trump. This man's being persecuted for political reasons because he beat Hillary Clinton. The SJWs were just growing at that time. The seed was planted way back when with the political correctness. Political correctness, we got to be politically correct. And then it grew into what the SJWs were. And still are, honestly. We call them woke these days, but it's still just the SJWs, the social justice warriors. And people thought because Trump won that for some reason that was just going to go away, and they all went their separate ways. And everybody's, oh, you're anti-SJW. How dare you? It's so funny. Well, what is it about the SJW agenda, the woke agenda, as we call it now, that you're okay with? Why are you guys such pussies that you won't stand up to women? And it's a funny thing to watch because you'll see some conservatives who are perfectly willing to argue with a guy about something, but if it comes to a woman, ooh, yeah, I can't argue with her. Goddamn pussies. And it's kind of condescending to women. It's very condescending to women. I can't. The SJWs never went away. They're still here, and they're in control. And it's getting worse by the day. And to the point now we're mutilating children. I mean, we killed them, so I guess mutilation's a step down actually for them. Man, Democrats really don't like kids, do they? They try to murder them when they're still, in the womb. And if that doesn't work out, they rape them and mutilate them. The fuck is wrong with Democrats, man? The limits of acceptable society must be pushed to the extreme. We need pushback on all of the nonsense, and a lot of this is why I tell you guys the First Amendment is most important, because a lot of it isn't government related. A lot of what we're seeing has nothing to do with the government. They're not passing laws that are making it. Well, I guess they are with the Restrict Act, but they weren't passing laws that are like, hey, you can't say that on television. The FEC is pretty much taking a hands-off approach to the FCC is taking a hands-off approach to the internet. It's people, it's Americans who are running around okay with the censorship and demanding it even. And not even for slurs or hateful language, or what do they call it? Hate speech. Just for having the wrong opinion. It's just labeled hate speech because you have the wrong opinion. And it's not coming from the government. I mean, we're getting a little bit of it, and we saw the Twitter files. There was definitely some of it there. But the majority of that is just coming from your everyday average person. And that is what needs fixed. And on that note, we're going to wrap this one up. Bubba, you still out there? Stevie says, I miss Jack. You can go watch his channel. He's on there quite often. He's got 4 or 5 channels. He uploads daily. So make sure you check that out. Bubba, you down to play some ghost hunting? We'll see how well the big satellite does with this storm going on. I don't know how well it's going to do, but we're going to give it a try. So I will be over on twitch.tv/rantingmonkey in just a little bit, playing some Phasmophobia with my good friend Bubba there. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out. Thank you so much. Yeah, but Monk and Jack is the best. No, I know. I get it. And I wanted to address this before we end. I'm not offended when you guys go, I wish Jack was here. I always wish Jack was here. I enjoy talking with the man. But if you miss Jack, check out his channels. He's got a bunch of stuff over there. For all of those, you're like, hey, Monkey, you need to make videos. Jack makes videos all the time. Go watch him. But anyway, thank you so much for coming and hanging out tonight. Thank you for the donations. You guys are awesome. Sorry if there was cuts and stuff. I don't know how well my internet did. I'm not monitoring it in a way that I could see. So hopefully it worked out. But yeah, these charges are bullshit. And Phil DeFranco, an idiot who needs to stay the fuck out of my. Oh, dear God. Did you really just do this? Did you really just?
I heard you asking about me.
I wasn't asking about you. Actually, chat was. Somebody said that they missed you, and I told them to go watch your videos.
Well, here I am.
There you are. I was just wrapping up, dude.
I know. That's usually how it is.
Oh, fuck. I expected you to pop up like a half an hour or so, but it sounds like you slept.
I fell asleep at my desk here.
You took an old man nap, didn't you?
A little bit. I woke up drooling on the kitchen table.
I am still wrapping this up because I do not know how much longer this break in the weather is going to happen. I want to try to get a game stream done. Do you guys have a major storm coming through?
Not yet. We're supposed to get it later today.
Ours started at about maybe 4 o'clock this afternoon with just the wind picking up. And it's just been getting worse and worse and worse. And we have a slight break right now. I have my headphones on, but I haven't heard a crack of thunder in about an hour before the show. So 3 hours ago now, right? But it's supposed to get worse through the day. I mean, we have tornado warnings.
Yeah, with that same front supposed to it's a huge front, I guess, but it's supposed to hit all of us too.
So for those of you who are in the path of this coming storm, like Jack and myself, please stay safe.
Yeah. Before we wrap up though, thank you, Keldrick, for that feminist donation. The star finally arrived. Well, I'm a diva like that. You know, I like to show up at the last minute, fashionably late, half drunk. something. I don't know. I'm not actually drunk. I'm just tired. You there? Monkey? Did you mute yourself? No, you didn't mute yourself. Uh-oh. 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 I think he was like, yeah, fuck this. I'm out. Fuck this shit. I'm out. What's up, chat? Are you a wizard? No, I'm just some idiot. What's everybody doing out there? Jack hijack? No, I'm way too lazy for that.
Well, I guess that answers my question about whether or not it's going to cause problems.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, fuck. Sorry about that. I heard you start to read that and you said the star. To me, I heard the starf.
The starf?
Did you
starf? Oh.
Yeah, so sorry about that. Well, yeah. Yay, satellites in bad weather. Anyhow, Jack, anything you want to show?
Yeah, I'll toss a link or something, and I don't fucking know. I'll probably do a show later in the morning.
Okay.
Because there's some crazy shit going on. So, as you're well aware, I mean,
yeah,
it's getting weird.
Yeah, I spent most of the show going over the Trump thing just because there's so much to it.
Oh my god, it's ridiculous.
It's so fucking stupid. But like I said, apparently the weather is getting worse. So fuck, Bubba, we're gonna try it. If you guys come over to watch twitch.tv/rantingmonkey, we had an issue the other day where my satellite just died on me. I don't think it'll do that to us, but it might be like sketchy. I might get kicked out of a game or two, but hopefully we'll be able to get a stream done. Don't forget, guys, you can just go to Jack just dropped a link. You can also go to the description of each video, and there is a link to all of my channels and all of Jack's channels.
Mm-hmm.
So check those out. Also, you can pick up something nice for your wife. There's probably an anniversary coming up. Get her a nice Monkey or Jack shirt. Get her a nice not Jack shirt for her anniversary.
Yeah, nothing says I love you like you're not this person.
Exactly. And just a reminder, hit the like button on the way out, and don't forget to hit like for people when you're watching them. Not just me or Jack, anybody you're watching, because it really does help them out. Everybody, thanks for coming and hanging out. Jack, a pleasure as always, as short as it was.
Oh, always glad to be here.
Everyone, have a good night. We'll see y'all next time.
Hi, everybody.
Phil DeFranco, stay out of my lane. You might have lost weight, but you're still a fucking douchebag that I don't like, who shouldn't talk about politics because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.